Hey y'all, welcome back to Crime and Cocktails. I'm Lena, and if you anything like me, you love true crime and a little drinky drink. And on this channel, we're doing a little bit of both. So get your drink together and let's get into the next story. Now, tonight I'm drinking my weekend drink. I introduced y'all to this before. The 1800 silver, and I usually do it with the Cayman Jack margarita, but tonight I went with this one, which is something I'll be drinking all the time too, the sparkling margarita. And I just mixed it up, depends on how much of a drunk you are, if you're going to put more 1800 or more of the juice. I'm in the middle, so I put like half and half. It's a little strong, but it's good. Cheers. Now, tonight's story is really sad, and it is actually, I want to say unsolved, but it's kind of solved. And I mean, you can really, if you a detective like me, you can pretty much solve it yourself just off of the stuff I'm about to tell y'all right now. Okay, so it is about a lady named LaVena Johnson. She was born July 27th, 1985 to Dr. John Johnson and Linda Johnson in Florissant, Missouri. I don't know if that's how you say it, but in Missouri, okay? She was a happy, hardworking honor roll student who was very ambitious. Okay, she enlisted in the U.S. Army immediately after high school, even though her parents had other plans for her. Like, they didn't want her going to the Army. I watched a documentary about her last night, which I heard about this story like a few years ago. I think I ran across it on Facebook. And, I read it and I thought it was real sad, and I never did really, follow up or look more into it. And then my fave, Bailey Sarian, the lady who does the makeup murder or makeup mystery, she did a video on her too, and that's what brought her back to my mind. Like a month or two ago, I had seen that, and so then I started like digging deeper, and I watched the documentary, and it's a lot, and it's crazy. So, anyways, back to what I was saying. Her parents didn't want her to go to the Army. When she, turned 18, and after she graduated, she went to her dad and told her dad, I'm going to go to the Army. The way that she brought it to him was like this: do you have enough money to send me and her sister, to college? And he was like, yeah, which he had explained that he had already had their college funds put aside. He wasn't playing about his kids. He knew what he had to do, and he was going to do that. So he already had put money up for them for college. So that wasn't a problem. But he explained the way he explained it was that even after he said, like, I got your college money, don't worry about it, she had pretty much already had her mind made up. This was just her way of trying to ease into it, like, well, you don't need to worry about the money because I'm going to go to the Army, and they're going to pay for the college. And so he felt like, he said that she's like her mom, and she was, determined. And when she had her mind set on something, she was going to do that, whether you said yes, no, or maybe so. She was going to do what she wanted to do. And so he knew that about her. And so once he realized that she already had her mind made up about it, he was like, well, you just gonna have to tell your mama now. You got me, but your mama is gonna be a different story. And so when she went to tell her mom, was like, no, please don't do it. Like, of course, she didn't want her to go. But like I said, LaVena already had her mind made up. Now, it also stated in the documentary that, of course, there were recruiters coming around and buttering up the parents. But first of all, buttering up the students. There was a lady in the documentary, and she was absolutely right that there should be some kind of in between. Like, these Army recruiters shouldn't just be able to go into schools and start trying to recruit 17 and 18-year-olds. These kids, they're kids. They're easily influenced. All you got to do is tell them it's going to be shiny and look cute, and they're going to be like, I want it. So they shouldn't be able to do that, because being in the Army, that's dangerous. You know what I mean? That's your life. That's your life. So I agreed with the lady on the documentary. I forgot what her name was, but she was telling it like a TI is, and I liked her, a white lady. I forgot what her name was, but she was definitely telling it like it is, and she was right that they shouldn't be able to do that. So, anyways, I keep getting sidetracked. So, anyways, um, the recruiters were buttering up LaVena, saying, "Oh, this is gonna be good for you, and you're gonna love it, and this, that, and the other." And they were also buttering up the parents, telling the parents, like, she's not gonna be, like, in the war. There's not gonna be, she'll be, home and all this, that she wasn't gonna be sent away. Sure enough, shortly after she, entered the army, they deployed her to Iraq. So completely what they told her and her parents, soon as they got that signature, they did the exact opposite, and they sent her over to Iraq. And I'm sorry I didn't tell y'all the date on this. This was in like 2005. Okay. So, wow, which was actually the same year I graduated. That's crazy. Take a drink. So, yep, after entering the army, she was deployed to Iraq, and she was stationed in Balad. I think that's how you say it. Balad, Iraq. After 8 weeks in Iraq, LaVena was found dead in a tent from an apparent gunshot wound. The Department of Defense ruled her death as a suicide. Even though her mom had talked to her like 2 days before, they said that she used to call her family, almost every day. And she worked in like I think they said telecommunications part, of wherever they were stationed in Iraq. So she could call quite frequently because she worked, where the phones and everything were. So, that was good or whatever. And so they went like 2 days after her mom had talked to her, they had talked and everything was all good and she seemed perfectly fine. When the soldiers come to the door, how a police officer died or someone in the army dies, they send the soldiers to the door. And so the soldiers came to the door and basically told the parents that LaVena was dead, and one of the soldiers had alluded to, her committing suicide. And as soon as he said that, the dad knew something was up. Like, hold on, what? You saying my daughter killed herself? Like, no, this is not right. And the soldier, like, no, I didn't say that. And he'd start trying to, take it back and saying that ain't what he said, but that's exactly what he said. So the Department of Defense had ruled the death a homicide. And the last time her and her mom were talking, they was talking about her coming home to visit, and so she was just happy and talking about coming home to visit. Now she killed herself. It just wasn't adding up, right? LaVena had died July 19th, 2005, which sadly was only 8 days before her 20th birthday. That's so sad. When they sent LaVena's body back home for burial, they said that it should be a closed casket. Like, that's what they were suggesting to the family. Like, it should be a closed casket. She had some significant damage because they said that she shot herself in the head with an M16, which is like a rifle, like an assault rifle. So now, when they sent the body back home, her father went to the funeral home to view the body and said that as soon as he saw her, he knew that something was up. She was like really beat up and bruised up and just, it was a terrible sight to see. And so, he basically knew that it wasn't suicide, but that somebody had did something to her. And so now the next thought is, okay, why would the army want to cover this up? Like, why wouldn't they tell us the truth, basically, right? Initially, they had said that LaVena shot herself in the mouth with the M16. Now, you got to remember, LaVena was only 5'1", so she's a short girl. She's, a short lady. If any of y'all know me, she's like 2 inches taller than me. Y'all know little. So she was only a couple of inches taller than me, and the M16 is like a gun, like a big gun. So the question was, how would she do that? Like, how would she put the gun in her mouth and then still be able to reach the trigger to shoot herself? Doesn't make sense, right? What's even more crazy is when they said this, like, they made that point, like, this is like damn near impossible. How could she reach it? Do y'all know the Army? This is our United States government, y'all. And the best thing they could come up with is to say, well, maybe she pulled the trigger with her toe. Her toe. Seriously, like, is that for real? It couldn't have been a joke, because that's too early for jokes. But who the hell would even say that? Let alone who would believe it. Who the fuck would say that? Like, that's stupid. That's the dumbest thing I ever heard in my life. Then, just to prove that couldn't even happen, when her body was found, she had her shoes on. So how could she do it with her toe if her shoes was on? Like, this is just the dumbest shit ever. I'm sorry. So, anyways, now, aside from my opinions, let's go back to the story. I'm sorry, y'all know I be having to throw my 2 cents in. Now, take a drink, because this is about to piss me off. Now, her body was discovered by 2 other soldiers. They went in the tent. Crazy thing is, where she was at wasn't even her tent. It wasn't even her tent. They said it was some kind of like contractor's tent or something. So, first of all, and then they were trying to blame it on saying that her boyfriend, who she was only with for like 2 months, had broke up with her. And so she was, depressed and so sad because her boyfriend broke up with her. And went into somebody else's tent to kill herself. Your story is just all messed up. So they said that the 2 other soldiers who had discovered her body, they said that they had heard explosions just before going in the tent and finding her dead. Okay, so that's one thing, is them hearing explosions. Then, when they got there, one of the first responders had... Wait, I'm going back. Hold on. Explosions just before going into the tent. Oh, and okay, yes, I'm sorry, I have lost my train of thought. And one of the first responders that went in the room said that they had saw the M16 in the room and they had moved it. I guess, moved it away from where it was, to do what they had to do or whatever, right? But when they fingerprinted the gun, there were no fingerprints on the gun. Not LaVena's fingerprints, not the first responders' fingerprints. And it wasn't even her gun. They register, the certain serial number to the certain people. This wasn't even her gun. Where was her gun? Where's her gun? And who gun is this? Do y'all know they never even said who gun that was? Like, they just doing anything and expect people to believe it. Again, our United States government. This shit is retarded. Anyways, it was also said that, that she couldn't have been shot with the M16 due to the bullet trajectory. That it wasn't right. Like, it wasn't right. And they said, so her father said when he saw her body, he said that it was a small bullet hole on the left side of her head, which she was right-handed. So that makes it even more retarded. But like I said, they said that she stuck it in her mouth. But how the bullet gonna come out the side of her head if she stuck it in her mouth? Second of all, why is it such a small hole? From what I know, exit wounds, they tried to say it was an exit wound. Exit wounds are larger than an entry wound, right? I don't know. Tell me if I'm wrong, but that's what I always thought. I always heard that the exit wound is bigger. Second of all, this is a whole rifle. So if you shoot yourself in the mouth with a rifle, like, some part of your head should really just be gone, right? Like, gone, not just a small bullet hole. Her father said that the bullet hole looked like that of a 9mm, not a rifle. So that was something, another little tip to remember, right? Then it said that the autopsy showed that LaVena had been tortured and sexually assaulted before she died. She had a broken nose, burns and bruises on her arms and her legs and her hands. She had a busted lip and her teeth were loose. She also had serious burns to her private area from some kind of chemical. And they thought that maybe, whatever happened, they did that so that they could cover up a rape, the rape. So they wouldn't find no DNA evidence and stuff like that, right? So throughout this whole thing, this whole investigation, the Army were no help. Like, they stonewalled the family and gave up little to no information at all as to what had happened to their daughter. Just, she killed herself. That's it. None of the shit we saying add up, but listen to us because we are the government. Fuck out of here. What? Like, they really think we stupid. That's what they think. Anyways, so the family, of course, started their own investigation. They ended up having her body exhumed and doing their own autopsies. That's when they found, a lot of this other stuff, a lot. It was too much. Okay, and still to this day, her death is ruled a suicide. They still saying that it's a suicide. Like, after all these extra evidence that came up, they're still saying that it's a suicide. And even after many attempts to get the real story by, LaVena's family, friends, and supporters, and, people who are just trying to get some justice, they won't. They basically said that the investigation is done. Like, it's done. There is no more investigation. The case is closed. That's it. Leave us alone. And I don't know. And what? And what? And what? And then what? Right? Now, this is where it gets really interesting. This is so everything that I said up until now, I had, read, like I said, when I first seen this, I had seen it on Facebook. I had read this all on Facebook. Bailey had said some of this in her video. She had said some of it, and it's more that she had said that I didn't say, because when I was looking through the research, I didn't see any of that. And I didn't see any of that in the documentary, so I didn't want to repeat that because I don't know where she found it or whatever. I like to do my own research, so I put what I seen that is credible. You know what I'm saying? So even though I'm not saying that's my girl, y'all know that's my favorite. I'm not saying she's not credible, but I'm not going to use her information because I don't know where she got it from, period. Okay, so anyways, now this is where it gets interesting. Take a drink. Hold on. I know y'all ain't talking, and I just said I'm making a video. Thank you. In February of 2016, a lawyer named Donald Watkins published a 3-part article called The Murder of LaVena Johnson, where he went into full detail of the case. He had reliable government sources and found plenty of info to uncover the truth. Right now, he was talking about the Pentagon, so he had, like, I don't want to say spies, but he had, allies in different places. He was a lawyer, you know what I'm saying? So he had, he was getting the real info, right? And he put the whole shit together. Like, I can't even believe this, okay? So, okay, I'm going to tell y'all what his findings were, I'm not going to read all, go through all 3 articles. I'm just going to sum it up into what he said. First of all, he said Private Johnson's death was a murder followed by a Pentagon cover-up. So the government, they covering up, and I'll tell y'all what I think they was covering up for, which was fucking stupid. It wasn't enough to kill her, to kill somebody for. You know what I'm saying? And then they said that even her like case filed was given to George Bush, and they they named it like a matter of national security. Like, get the fuck out of here. Let me tell y'all what it was. So anyways, okay. Yes. So anyways, I'm going to read it here because I was not finna write all of this down. So I'm just going to read it straight from him. These are all his words. Okay. Donald Watkins. Okay. Y'all can look it up. It's crazy. So he says, based upon the totality of evidence, my investigative team established the following core facts. Private Johnson did not kill herself, as the Army has claimed. She was murdered execution style. The murderer was General Kevin P. What the hell? Byers, I think. Byers. I don't know. Y'all know I don't know how to pronounce these folks' names. Y'all know that. Okay. Anyways, the M16 rifle found at the crime scene was not one issued to Private Johnson, which I told you that. Her fingerprints were not on the M16, which was planted at the scene after her death. Nobody's fingerprints were on the M16, even though it was touched by one or more of the first responders. There was no gunpowder residue on LaVena's hands. General Byers, what the hell is his name? It's Byers. It gotta be. Byroness or y'all, we gotta think of another name for this man because I'm not gonna keep on. Kevin, that's his name. General Kevin, that's what we don't call his fuck ass. Where was I? Okay, there was no gunpowder residue on Private Johnson's hands. General Kevin continued. Okay, so now I gotta break it down a little bit. So basically, what they saying this man killed her. He was one of her commanders, and the reason that he killed her was because she accidentally stumbled upon him having an affair with somebody else, like some other lady in the Army. Or don't get me mixed up. I don't know if the other lady was in the Army, but they said in between. So yeah, he was cheating. His the person over him found out about the affair and gave him a direct order to stop it. To let this go. You're not finna do this, right? And so apparently this is like law. Like if I can't think of the word. Okay, it's gonna come up in this. But he told him to stop. The motherfucker didn't stop. And then she caught him. Okay? Anyways. Blah, 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 blah. General Kevin continued his extramarital affair with the female contractor after... I wonder would this contractor be the same contractor whose tent LaVena's dead body was found in? I just thought about that. Anyways, he continued his extramarital affair with the female contractor after he received a direct order from the Army's chief of staff to end it. Private Johnson inadvertently encountered General Kevin engaging in the very romance he had been ordered to stop. Private Johnson's discovery of Kevin's continued adultery left him startled, afraid, and desperate. General Kevin snapped and became violent towards Private Johnson, who did not fight back because she was as shocked as he was because Kevin was her commander. So, you walk in on your commander like, oh my God, what the fuck, right? The Secretary of Defense, Donald Rumsfeld, was briefed by Army officials on General Kevin's role in LaVena's murder. Rumsfeld and another general from Iraqi operations subsequently, this is what I was talking about, gave President George Bush a classified briefing about LaVena's murder and the situation with General Kevin. And Rumsfeld fired Kevin as an Army general 3 weeks after LaVena's murder and 3 months prior to his scheduled retirement date. So yes, so that's that. Okay, that makes sense. He was already finna retire, but he done did some bullshit, and this lady done died. They know this happened, so they did fire his ass. Okay, that makes a little sense. Okay. Anyways, now so all these are all the facts that they came down with. Like he went and he was going, like I said, he had connections, plugs and connections, and got all this information. This is I believe him. I'm sorry to say, but I believe him. He published this. Like this is published for the world. He published this. So this man ain't lying. And a reason that I know he ain't lying is because of the next thing I'm finna tell y'all right now. The military never disputed any of the material facts presented in my published articles. This is understandable because these facts were based upon physical and forensic evidence, autopsy reports, crime scene photos, morgue x-rays, and redacted U.S. Army Criminal Investigation Command files, and a plethora of other credible information garnered from sources inside and outside of the Pentagon. That's what I'm saying. So he knew they was telling him he was getting this information from credible sources. Okay? And they never deny none of this. The army, they never deny none of it. So I mean, that tell you right there. If somebody's telling a lie on you, y'all know how this shit go. If somebody's telling a lie on you, you gonna come back like, no, you're lying on me. They just ain't said nothing because it was the truth. They couldn't say nothing. Like he said, this come from the x-rays, the medical examiner, the everything. So you can't. He did say that they tried to assassinate his character, though, which is all they could do. You know what I'm saying? What else could you do? You can't say none of the other shit is lies because y'all know it's here in black and white for everybody to see. But now y'all gonna try to say, but don't y'all know that's some Illuminati shit? That's how to. I'm sorry, I did not say that. Don't give me. Okay, back to what I was saying. Hold on, because it was something else that I want to tell y'all about that man. I want to tell y'all this too. But I got to tell y'all about that man. Okay, it says for more than a decade, the military was able to successfully cover up Private Johnson's murder by classifying her death as a matter of national security. The investigative files in Private Johnson's case remain sealed. That's not making no sense. And then they didn't want to release nothing to the family. They were just they just did these people so wrong. And then, here's what I was trying to find. So General Kevin was unmasked as Private Johnson's murderer on February 14th, 2016. Since that time, he has not demanded a retraction of the published facts about his involvement in LaVena's death. Likewise, General Kevin, who lives in Huntsville, Alabama, did not file a defamation lawsuit against this man, Donald Watkins, during the time that he could have. So you did it. Like, that's what I'm saying. Somebody lie on you, right? And then you a whole general in the United States Army. You're going to let somebody defame your character like that? No, they're not defaming your character because you killed that girl. Because she caught your cheating ass. And I'm sure that she didn't give a damn. I mean, I don't know. But I'm just saying, me, I don't care if I walk in on a motherfucker. My name Bennett and I am in it. I don't care what other people do. As long as it's not gonna affect me, do you. Don't bring me in it. I don't know nothing. I didn't see nothing. I ain't heard nothing. I'm almost sure, especially if she was fighting for her life. I'm almost sure she was like, I'm not gonna say anything. This girl was 19 years old. It's sick. It's very sick. Okay, and so now I just want to take it out. We're going to go out. Before we go out, take another drink. Did we drink enough during this? It's been 30 minutes. Ooh. So I want to take us out with this because I agree with Donald Watkins. I really agree with him, and I'm glad that I even came across this, and it was hard to come across, but y'all know I be researching. I be all at work, supposed to be working, all on the phone, researching, looking. I swear I do. But I'm glad I found this because this kind of gives you closure. Y'all know I've been telling y'all. Y'all know I am a type of person who needs closure. And so just to be reeling from this and never, knowing nothing and what happened and what was it, this definitely gave me the closure. It did. It did. And I know they had to be done seeing this by now. Like, I wish I could see something up to date where they say, that they read this and they feel if this is what happened or if it's not. But I think he's right. He the only one coming up with anything logical that makes sense, because the U.S. government is fucked up, and the army, not making no kind of sense. Not making no sense at all. So let's leave with this. Private Johnson did not deserve to die this way. He say Private Johnson so many times, so that's why I switch it up sometimes and just say her name, because say her name. LaVena was only 19 years old at the time of her murder. She was not a military intelligence officer. She was not killed carrying out a covert military operation against dangerous terrorists in Iraq. LaVena's death was not an accident or a suicide. She was not killed by friendly fire. Private Johnson was not a spy for a foreign power who was killed by American soldiers to protect the potential exposure of top secret military information in a war zone. Private Johnson was executed at point blank range solely because she stumbled upon General Kevin while he was engaging in prohibited extramarital conduct in contravention of a lawful order from a superior officer. By all accounts, LaVena was a great soldier and a wonderful human being. She was ready and willing to die for her country on the battlefield, but she was not prepared to become a murder victim at the hands of one of her commanders. Private Johnson did not deserve to die this way, alone, unprotected, murdered, and betrayed by her country's top military brass. May her soul rest in eternal peace while her family, friends, and supporters seek criminal justice for her murder. And that's just what it is. That's what it is. They do have a movie out about it called Verdict. It's like Verdict, the LaVena Johnson story or something like that. I was going to watch it, but they think I'm going to pay $6.99 on Amazon Prime, and I wasn't going to do that when I could go and watch the documentary on Tubi for free. So the documentary is called The Silent Truth. It is on Tubi. It is free $99. But if you want to pay the little $6.99 to Amazon Prime, which I usually would have normally, but I've been splurging. I've been buying all type of movies. I just printed American Skin and just buying all type of movies and subscriptions, and so I need to slow down. So I wasn't gonna do that, like I said, because I could go and watch the documentary with her actual parents. And I don't know if her parents is. I don't know if the other movie is even like a documentary or if it's like an actual movie. I don't know, but this was very sad. I am sad. I don't even want to say I'm sad for her. I'm sad for her family because they so hurt. They so hurt, especially her mama. I don't want to say especially, but her mom just shows more her dad is like more like he gonna be strong for the family. He said that in the documentary. But her mom, I just feel so bad for her. It's so sad. So I'm sad for them. I'm sad for the family. I'm sad that this girl was not able to live up to her full potential. And it's disgusting. And I am mad that the United States just let this slide. Like, this is terrible. This is terrible. What they thought that they could cover it up because they didn't know that her family had that much fight in them. They didn't know. That's what they didn't know. 1 second. Who finna get beat up? Okay, shut up. Sorry. So yes, the government, they dropped the ball for sure. The I don't know how I keep saying the government. I don't know if it's government or the army, but I mean they all together. They all work together. The United States need to do better. They thought that, ain't nobody gonna care about a 19-year-old black girl, that just died. We gonna say it's suicide, and that's what it's gonna be. They're gonna listen to us, and it's gonna be suicide. No, you're not. You're not gonna just keep killing us and thinking we just gonna let it ride. No. That shit is sick. This made me so mad. It's just a whole, what's the words I'm looking for? I can't even think of the words I'm looking for. Like, it's just this whole thing is fucked up. And they did this girl like this, and her family can't even get no closure. This is some crime and cocktail shit. Right? Something that's to be on crime and cocktails, like it is. But you are the United States, G. You should not be on crime and cocktails. Like, y'all are they're the biggest criminals out here. The biggest criminals out here. It's sad. It's sad. And that story made me mad because, what can we do? They are the United States. We can't do shit. Sit on YouTube and talk about it. That's it, really. Really, I feel like maybe I did a little something trying to shed some light on it, to people who didn't know anything about this. And then maybe, I don't know, maybe they'll see it and be like, oh shit, maybe we should stop doing shit and people stop trying to make us look bad. Y'all are bad. The United States is fucked up. Anyways, that was the video. It's going on 36 minutes. I'm finna get off here. I'm just playing in my ear. That was the video. I hope that LaVena Johnson is resting easy. And I hope that her parents can find some kind of peace, I hope that they can get some justice is what I really hope. Whoever General Kevin, he ain't even a general. Fuck that general. You got fired. So Kevin Byron, however you say his name, I hope he go to jail. I hope they eventually get him, and I hope he go to jail. And everybody else, the whole army, just line them all up. Hang them at high noon, all of them. All of them. But thanks for watching, guys. Like the video. Don't forget to like the video. Subscribe to the channel if you have not already. Share the video. Let your friends see, because this is very sad. Shed some light on this young lady and on the government and the army who think they can do whatever they want to us and feed us any bullshit ass story, and we're just going to accept it. Right? Cheers before we leave. Clink, clink. I love you guys. We will be back. I do got another story that I'm already working on. I was working on both of these at the same time. I know which one to do, which one. And I picked this one because like I said, I felt like some light should have been shined on this. But the next story is going to be a good one. I might come back with it tomorrow, depending on how busy it is at work and if I'm gonna have time to duck off and research some more. If not, we definitely will be back next week. Y'all know I'm back in action. So, thanks again. I love y'all so much for the love and the support. Leave y'all comments below. Y'all know I love to hear the feedback. It be like, I be having all these views and nobody saying nothing. Come on, y'all. Don't be shy, y'all. Don't be shy. Y'all say something. Say something. Check in, y'all. Check in. Okay? Thanks again. I love you guys. Bye.